this is for the guys out there that maybe your girlfriend's pregnant right now. Maybe she's pregnant with your second or third or fourth kid. But I'll tell you a story when my girlfriend was pregnant with our first kid, and it's just a story that just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And maybe you just want to hear a story of someone going through something. This might be the video for you. And the reason I'm telling you this is that at the time, as dark as things got for me, it felt like even though I've always been optimistic in my life, I've always been optimistic, and that's a subject for another video. But I've always just pushed forward. I tend to not really look back. Even telling these stories sometimes are difficult because I don't really think about the past. I just move forward. But the reason I'm telling you this is because if you're in that dark place or things are stacked against you, that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and that light hopefully is not a not a train coming at you, because that's for me, that's what it felt like. And at some point, if you keep working, you keep hustling, keep busting your tail, you can straighten things out and make things better in your life. But I can tell you, I was dating who's my wife now, but we were dating for like a month, and all of a sudden she calls me up, and I remember I'm driving in my car, and she's like, "Yeah, I took the test," and I knew what she's talking about. So then it that just started for me of I got to get myself together. I got to get my shit together, because you got to understand at the time, and this is where it really starts getting dark for me. At the time I was living in a house. It wasn't updated. I mean, I had all carpeting. I mean, the house was not. It was not kid friendly. And my brother was living with me at the time, and it was cool. It was our house was kind of like the party house. Not like a party. Like not. I shouldn't even say that. And not like parties. I mean, it's just like we just hung out. Like we'd hang out, and it was like we weren't serious about anything. And with her getting pregnant, then he moved out, and that was really depressing for me, and it felt like I almost felt like I was pushing him out, which I wasn't. And it was really hard for me, and it's probably hard for him too. But um I didn't have any money at the time. I didn't have any money. I was kind of running a business, but I wasn't making any money. And I had a lot of credit card debt, and my I was trying to be slick, and I think I told this story in another video about my heat, not my heat, my gas getting shut off in the winter time, and it was ridiculous. So yeah, it was that, and I had no money, and then throughout her pregnancy, she was getting sick a lot, and on top of it being a new relationship, her getting sick a lot, um her family not probably not being real crazy about it, even though like her and I both came from, like an average at best. I mean, that's being generous background. It's like our families weren't like, these, like, no disrespect to her family, my family, but it's like we came from very humble beginnings and everything. So, but even at that, I don't think her family was happy about it, and it put strain on it. And I was trying to do my best. I was trying to get my stuff together in a matter of like weeks and months, and 9 months, right? And and so there was a lot of strain with her and I, and I was doing everything I could to make things right. And then then my heat gets shut off, and then all of a sudden I'm trying to make money with my business. I'm working hard and busting my tail. So it goes from life being fun and not really carefree, because it wasn't like that, but to just all of a sudden a lot of heaviness, because all of a sudden I have to be responsible for not just myself. Well, I couldn't even take care of myself at the time, but now I've got a responsibility to her, and I've got a responsibility to my kid that's about to be born. And so I wanted her to move in, and she didn't really want to move in. She was hesitant, and again, it was it was a new relationship. I mean, it was very very difficult. So at the same time, I'm like, "All right, I gotta fix the house up a little bit because the house is, like I said, is not." And when I say it was in kid friendly, it's not like, oh, we have to put like those like plug things in the light sockets or the you know what I'm talking about, like the where you plug stuff in. I forgot what the hell it's called. That you put the when you have kids, you put those blockers in so they can't put stuff in the light socket things. I'm talking about my house was I had carpeting that was probably like 30 years old and gross gray carpeting that was 30 years old and um the house needed painting. I mean, it was just a mess. And on top of it, the furniture I had in the house, the little furniture I had in my house was lawn furniture. It was old lawn furniture. That's not even a joke. Like in my living room, I had in the like the living room, the family room, whatever you call it, TV room. I had old lawn furniture, and it wasn't even new lawn furniture. It wasn't even nice. It was old, crappy lawn furniture. And the one couch I did have, it was broke. It was like the bottom part was broke, so it kind of like curved down and touched the floor. It was a mess. So I'm working fast to try to get the house up to speed a little bit, painting it and trying to fix things up a little bit. And now also keep in mind, I had no money. I had no money. And it's not like I could just turn it on and start making money. It was like I was I didn't know what the hell to do. And as it fast forwarded, then my oldest son was born, and it felt like because I was going through all this stuff in the winter. And actually the winter, because my birthday is in January. So for my 28th birthday, I remember, and this is it got really dark for me. It got really dark. I remember it was January of '08. Okay, because my son was born in June of '08. So this is January of '08, a few months before he's born. And I remember being home that night on my birthday, and it's cold January day in Michigan, and I was, repairing. I was doing remodels in the house. I was fixing up the bathroom or something. And I just remember everything being dark. Like it was really depressing because my girlfriend, she wasn't at my house. I probably didn't want to do it at the time because I just did not have my shit together. And no one was doing anything bad. It's not like I was running around and doing anything, and she wasn't running around doing anything. But it was just very difficult for both of us. We were just both trying to process everything, trying to get ourselves straight. Because we had a kid on the way. But so I remember being alone on my birthday, on my 20th birthday, and everything was just dark. Like everything felt dark. That's the only way to describe it. It's almost depressing talking about it now because. And I remember I ended up going to Best Buy that day because I had a gift card, and actually she might have got me a gift card. I don't remember. She got me CD player or a DVD player or something. Now this is 2008. Some of you guys are going, "What the hell is a CD player?" Okay, but forget about that. But I had to, or it was for my computer. It was a CD burner for my computer. And now some of you guys are going, "What the hell is that?" But forget that. Anyways, so I had to go to Best Buy. I had to exchange it because I had to get a different version of it. I remember coming back, and I remember I was like drinking by myself, and I'm like, trying to get the house repaired. I was listening to kind of kind of depressing music, and I'm just like, I gotta get my shit together. I gotta get my shit together. I gotta do something. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. And then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And we'll jump real quick to when my son was born in June. No, this is summertime now. And it's funny because at the time in June, all of a sudden it felt like the sun came out in the cloud. And not, I know you said, well, yeah, in January it's overcast and tends to be dark, and in summertime it tends to be sunny, right? But it's like what I felt in my mind too, and like what I saw. Like it was so dark for me in that January, I remember. And by the time my son was born, it felt like the sun came out. It was bright, everything, and her and I were getting, her and I were getting together a lot, getting along a lot better. And and then we have a new son, and it was exciting, um, fast forward to him being now he's 16. Is he's gonna be seven? Gosh, I should know this. He's got to be 17. So he's 16 right now, and he's like 6'6", and he's a big dude playing basketball and everything. But through that time, I just put my head down and I got to work and I got to work and I was just pushing forward. And it was, for me, it was not a straight line up. It was very rocky, up and down, up and down. And then, you make some progress and then you drop back down, you lose money. And, for me, it was, you know, years and years of, what they say of two steps forward, one steps back, three steps forward, one step back, three steps forward, two steps back. It's kind of like that. But here's my point. And we'll wrap it on this. The reason why I'm telling that story is because for some of you guys, it's probably dark and you're probably scrambling. You're probably thinking like, I don't know, like I'm screwed. I don't know what to do. Now you got bigger responsibilities. You got more, you're responsible for more people in the time that, things are tough. And there's so many times that I didn't know how I get through stuff in the last, 16, 17 years, 17, 18 years now, and somehow you do. And not only do you do, but you can actually make things better for yourself and improve yourself, improve your situation, because there's so many times where I'm like, I don't, and these are stories, stories for different videos, but there's so many times where I was going through stuff in my business and my life, and that I said, I don't know. Forget about these goals, and over the next 5 or 10 years. I don't know how I'm going to get through today or this weekend or this week, and but also know that that stuff's normal. That's normal. It's not unique to you, and sometimes sometimes hearing that is, it can either be taken negatively, or it can, for me, I've always taken those things positively, like, because when you think of the excuse me, when you think of the point of view that you're not unique, you're not the first person to deal with this stuff, you're not the first person to go through these things, you're not the first person to have these challenges, to have these setbacks, to have um, these hurdles to go over. Lots of people have them. Lots of people have done it before, and lots of people will do them after you. And for me, that's always been that's always been also been kind of a relief, like a relief. Like, okay, well, I'm not doing this alone. Other people have, excuse me, dealt with this before, and I could too. And I think that's what you have to do. You gotta just keep pushing forward.